Hey guys, it's Matt DeWitt. Welcome back to our second part of our two-part series of our tour of Hiker Trailer, Indiana. So let's pick up where we left off as we talked with Rob about the unique differences between each of the models that they carry.
Our entry-level model, this is the Highway Deluxe. This has a 2,000-pound axle with leaf spring suspension. So this is really going to be designed for campsites. With the tire size, it's comparable to most tow vehicles that are kind of in the 2,000 to maybe slightly under that towing range. So it can do gravel roads, state parks. That's kind of what this model is designed for. You can get some upgrades on this to beef it up a little bit, like the rear stabilizers. You can upgrade the fenders to make them, the diamond plate fenders, to make them a little more durable than the aluminum that are standard. But this is really kind of the entry level, designed for campsites, dirt and gravel roads. That's what I'd recommend this model for. So this is the mid-range model. This is the next step up. It's got the torsion axle, 3,500 pounds. Usually towing vehicles from 2,500 to 3,000 pounds, your, kind of crossover SUVs, this is really good for. It will go pretty much anywhere those can go. It's designed for the mild off-roading, open fields, the untraveled dirt paths, that sort of thing. And the great thing is with the axle, you can still take it to a campsite and it's no problem. And it's really popular because if you ever change your towing vehicle, if you are considering getting a highway, you kind of future-proof your camping trailer. That way you can do some more off-roading if you become adventurous. So our new model for 2021 is the mid-range XL off-road. And it's going to look very similar. This is actually a mid-range model here that a customer put a 2-inch lift kit on. We've incorporated that 2-inch lift kit onto the XL model. We're also going to be extending the tongue a little bit longer. The frame of the tongue will be built out of more of the 4x3 square tubing, similar to our Extreme Off-Road model. And we are going to upgrade the tire size from a 15-inch rim to a 16-inch rim with wider tires to allow for more off-road capability. So this is going to be for the folks that maybe don't want to make the large investment. This will be almost do anything, almost go anywhere, but it is going to be more for the kind of hobbyist and kind of the weekend warrior necessarily than the kind of purpose-built, let's go up the Red Rocks in Arizona extreme off-road customer. This is the extreme off-road model. This is our purpose-built, go anywhere, do anything camping trailer. With this, there's actually two options for your suspension. You can get the 3,500-pound straight axle with leaf springs and shocks, or you can upgrade that to an airbag suspension. We have a lot of people that do that for either a smoother ride, depending on the terrain you're going over, or even some people that, trying to store a trailer that's this tall in their garage, they like to lower that suspension a bit to accommodate a more permanent storage solution when they're not using it. The tires on this are 265 wide, and they have 17-inch rims. And I mean, it's the monster, and this is the one that will do anything that any towing vehicle can do that we've encountered so far. I think the 5x9, the max with no accessories, I think we've estimated $1,350. Okay. So with accessories, you're probably $1,750 if you get the water tank and all the bells and whistles, the fridge box, the fridge. Sure.
So what are the 3 or 4 most common things that people order on their trailer?
By far the things that are most requested, and I think we would recommend, one of them is the second street side door. When there's only one way in and one way out, it looks a little tight. Also, if there are 2 people sleeping, having to crawl over one person to get out can be a bit bothersome, and you may not realize it until you get your single door camper home. So by far, I think the number one option that people add on is the second door. The second, probably most requested option is the Max fan. The Max fan can move a lot of air. It has a setting both for exhausting air and intaking air. So that you can control the flow direction of the air with a single push of a button. It has multiple speed adjustments so that you can adjust the speed of the fan, the volume of the air coming in. So incorporating that max fan with the windows, and the 2 windows with screens come standard, you really can control the massive amount of airflow through your camper, either pulling cold air in or exhausting hot air out. There's also a thermostat setting on the max fan. If you push that button, it is set to hold the temperature. I believe it's 76 or 78 degrees. Most people don't use that. They like to control it themselves. When they're out of the camper, they like to turn it off. We kind of recommend that. So, number 1 option, doors. Number 2, fan. Number 3, roof racks. At least a 2-bar roof rack. Highly requested. A lot of people will add racks on it. They'll add bike racks on it. They put their canoes, kayaks up there. So roof rack bars make a lot of sense. Roof rack bars can be added aftermarket by us. We have done it, so that's not a problem to add later. The next option, toolbox and electrical system. They kind of go hand in hand. Most customers, when they come to the showroom and see the setups, they want a toolbox because they can install their battery in the toolbox, keeping it out of the galley area, creating more space in the galley area for them, and much more ease of maintenance here in the front in the toolbox. So I think those are the 5 most requested options here at the Indiana location. The second side door, the max fan, the roof racks, the electrical package in the front toolbox. A lot of questions about the electrical options on the trailers. So with me here today to help explain that is Jordan. Jordan, if you want to walk us through our various options that we now offer on our new trailers.
Absolutely. So all trailers, basic, they're going to come with at least a power strip, your shore power plug, and then if you get no battery, you're going to get a positive and negative lead, so that way you can provide your own battery. So that is if you get no battery package at all with us. We have 3 different battery packages. Package 1 is going to be obviously the introduction package. Robbie likes to call it the weekend package. So with this battery, it's going to be the 34 amp hour AGM battery. So typically most people with standard use of their accessories in the vehicle, they're going to get anywhere from, we estimate 1 to 2 days of battery lifetime. Again, it all depends on what you're charging and what you're using. If you have solar with that as well, you can increase that another day or so. So that is just, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, weekend getaway. Next step up, battery package 2, you're going to get the 60 amp hour AGM battery. So with that one, you will also get the included inverter. It will go up in the toolbox if you have them. You have the options to either leave these in the galley. Most people, if they have a toolbox, are going to put them up there just because the battery with the case on top of it will take up a decent amount of space in the galley. And then you also get the smart NOCO charger on top of those. So smart NOCO charger, it's going to take care of your battery. When you're plugged into shore power, it has a trickle charge mode on it. Once your battery is fully charged, it pretty much goes into a maintenance mode is what they call it. So it keeps your battery optimized for use once you're unplugged. So if you're plugging in for the season, you're done, NOCO charger's got you covered. So this battery package is going to get you, we estimate 3 to 5 days, somewhere in that realm. So if you're taking, an extended week of a vacation and just want to get away, not have to worry about plugging in, combine this with some solar power and you're good to go. Big guy is going to be for those people who just want to go away for a while, which is always nice. So this is the 100 amp hour lithium battery. So with this one, we estimate at least a week. So if you combine your lithium battery with some solar, you're gone for a week. Nobody's going to find you. So this is definitely our big package. This is for, those people, a lot of extreme off-road people. That's what we see them get. It's definitely a newer battery package. The older battery packages, they didn't have an option for lithium, and now we do. So this here, these 2 batteries, package 2, package 3, come with a 600 watt pure swine inverter. So with this, basically allows you to step up, plug in a couple 120 volt powers. It also gives you an extra USB. So if that is up in your toolbox, you'll have access to that when you're out and about. Some people like having an external option for USB, so that gives that to you rather than just the two that are in the cabin.
And Jordan, if I can interject, with the inverter, the number one reason people prefer the inverters are those people who require a CPAP to sleep with.
Oh, sure.
It certainly covers that nicely. If you think you can go out with a battery off grid, plug in a hair dryer, plug in a coffee maker, run it all day, it consumes energy from the battery. Fine to do if you have shore power or if you have adequate solar, but by far the primary use of the inverter are for those people who require a CPAP or occasional use of a 110 volt appliance that they need. And again, it's a balance of energy in, energy out. If you're completely off grid, conserve the energy in your battery, use it sparingly, your lights, your max fans, your CPAP. If you have shore power, sky's the limit, use as much as you want and enjoy your camping trip.
Yep, absolutely. That's why with the battery package 2, which is definitely our most popular one, that's why we have included with the customers for the inverter, because we do have customers out there who require those CPAP machines, so that's why we decided with the top 2 packages to include it for you.
Nice.
So can you tell us the difference between an AGM
AGM.
and a lithium?
Yep, so the AGM batteries, AGM, absorb glass mat, basically those batteries, the biggest thing with them is once their percentage drops below about 40%, 30%, you're gonna notice a pretty significant performance issues. You're gonna start seeing lights work a little dimmer, your max fan may not start running as well because they are not meant to be drained. If you drain these batteries all the way down, it's very harmful to them. A lithium battery, just think of it like the battery in your cell phone because that's what it is. So with our cell phone batteries, we can run them all the way to 0. We never notice any performance difference. So that's what that is. It's meant to be drained and then recharge it. So that's really the biggest difference between them. They both perform very well. These are pretty standard in any kind of off-road vehicles, motor vehicles. AGMs are used in some cars as well just because of their startup power. But it's basically the charge percentage that you can't go past.
Handheld.
We have had customers request that we provide a outlet for them to plug in their Jackery and go. Maybe by the end of the year, we may have some other battery options because we recognize the portable power centers are gaining importance. They are durable, they're convenient. You can take them out of your camper and put them into your house if you have a power outage at your house. So I think there'll be more to come on that. But if someone has a very unique, specific need, call us, ask us if technically we can do it and understand what their need is. We'll try every avenue we can to help them out with that.
Recording? Okay.
He was way ahead of us. He's excited. He's really
So
excited.
this is our basic package on a trailer. If you don't have a battery package included as a custom option, you're going to have a positive, negative, and lead back here, which will be able to connect to a 12-volt battery if you're providing your own, or maybe a mobile power station that can connect to it. This is what's going to run any fans, lights, that sort of thing. If you don't have a battery package, those are not going to run if you just plug your trailer into the shore power. Those are separate systems. The battery packages that we have will allow this and the battery charger to run the electric options that you might choose off of the shore power connection, because the battery charger would also be a step-down inverter and charge the battery at the same time. So we do a fused positive lead here. That way if you have a power issue, it's easier to just change a fuse here right next to the battery than it is trying to find a fuse box somewhere. And the standard location to install for our batteries are in the rear. You can also choose to elect to put them in the toolbox, which most people will do if they have a toolbox on their build. It's going to extend the lifetime of the battery on your camping trip and determine how many extra days of power usage you might have. We do portable panels and permanent mount panels. I prefer the flex mount panels myself because they're very sleek and slimline. You can still get a lot of storage if you have roof rack bars or maybe storing something like kayaks on the top. We also do permanent glass mount panels on the top. And we have the portable panels, which are by Zamp, and they are briefcase models, and come with their own protective carrying case, and those are plug and play really. They're really nice. The difference between the two is permanent mount panels. It's going to charge most likely when you're driving. So I recommend that for folks that are going to go to a new campsite every day, because while you're traveling, it's going to charge your battery. And then when you get set up in camp and you're in the shade, it's not going to be as efficient. Whereas if you get a portable panel, you can set it up wherever you want when you're camping. So if you're going to be in one spot for the weekend, the portable is probably the best way to go. But, you know, with a portable, some people are worried about theft. Some people are worried about, you know, durability. If there's a storm, can it blow away? It could. The Zamp are nice because they actually have kind of square brackets for the A-frame that's in there for their support. You can actually mount those to our roof rack bars temporarily. So I've had people do that in the past as well. And then with our battery packages, if you guys look on the side, you'll have your standard SAE solar power port. That's included with all of our battery packages. So even if you don't buy a panel starting out, or if you have a permanent mount panel, but you find yourself being in the shade too much, you can get a supplemental portable and do both at the same time. So you can have the best of both worlds then. The plastic on the flex panels can become more opaque over time, whereas this, you wipe it down with some Windex, you're gonna have most of its efficiency throughout its lifetime. But again, it's a glass panel. If you have a roof rack or kayak and you...
Okay, this awning here is the Rhino Rack awning. I know there's a lot of questions about the difference between the two awnings. We currently offer the Rhino Rack awning and the 23-0 Peregrine, which we'll look at next. This is the Rhino Rack. Very simple to put up, as is a 23-0. The only disadvantage you might see, the Rhino Rack kind of cuts short and doesn't come out as far as the 23-0 does. There is an extension you can purchase as an add-on to this that you can either put it at the same elevation or put it at a slope. So the one disadvantage might be you really don't have as much protection in the rain getting in out of the camper as you will with the 23-0. But the Rhino Rack is a very good awning. I would say we probably sell 50-50 of each. One advantage of the Rhino Rack I like is the awning can be extended up very high on the ends. Obviously, if it's raining, you want to pull that back, but that's one of the advantages the Peregrine is not as flexible with. This is the 23-0 Peregrine batwing awning. As you can see, it has a flap that extends well beyond the door, so coverage in and out during the rain is a little different than what we saw on the Rhino Rack awning. This awning also, like the other one, easy to install, very quick, up and down, less than 5 minutes per person, which we'll demonstrate here in a minute. As I said earlier, this one you can't raise as high. The members are very rigid, and as you can see, they even can support themselves without bars. So both very good, high quality awnings. Again, our customers are buying about 50-50, 50 by the 23-0, 50 by the Rhino Rack. We're happy to sell both. This 23-0, they have an option for sidewalls. As far as price, similar in comparison. 23-0 might be a tad bit more, but it's more of a customer preference where we have great success with either one of them. We recommend that with our roof rack bars, if you were to ask us for a rating, we would say 150 pounds per bar. From our testing, we know that it can hold more than that. What we don't want are people to go crazy with it. But as you probably have seen, we have installed rooftop tents on these. We're very comfortable with our capacity to do it with the 3-bar installation process. Our roof racks, in those situations for the extreme loading, we have a backing plate inside that we mount it to secure it. So literally, it's impossible to pull that thing off. And given the gauge of the steel, almost impossible to bend this thing. So there are questions about rooftop tents and whether you can incorporate that with a max fan. As you'll see on this unit, we have the 23-0 walkabout tent. Now, if you notice, we require 3 roof rack bars for the tent. Based on the type of the tent, and this one flips out to the side, we have placed the 3 roof rack bars to all share the load evenly underneath. And as you can see up close, it does fit under the max fan. The max fan in this configuration can open about 1 inch. But as you may know, the max fan can operate in a fully closed position. The exhaust goes across the top and actually exhausts through the back of it, through the space there behind it. So the max fan works perfectly in this configuration. You can crank it open another inch or so. It incorporates with the tent well. Any tent you want to select, it's always important to talk to your customer service rep first. We do need to make sure that the configuration of the roof bars and the reinforcement will support your tent. Also, other considerations, this model, you can buy an accessory room to close this off. The door will be over there by the stairs. Doesn't quite cover the door here, but depending on the length of your trailer, could be moved forward to potentially cover the driver's side door as well. So rooftop tents, we've installed various different brands. We do not recommend or carry a single brand at the moment. Work with us if you have a tent preference, because there are so many models out there depending on the number of people, depending on the ease of opening and closing. Talk with us. We have experience. We can guide you on what we can do and help you make your selection work with the other options that you may want. With the rear stabilizers and the front stabilizer down, you may feel some shifting, but as you can see, and the rear stabilizer not down on this, it takes a lot to have any lateral movement on there. Maybe as a parent with kids up front, that's not a bad thing, so, or teenagers. As you'll also notice on the options, this one has a max fan. We have ones that have fantastic fans, and occasionally we get one with none, and occasionally we'll have one with a fan and a rooftop air conditioner as well.
So at the end here, I thought I'd throw a little compilation video of all those beautiful hikers and all those accessories. Hopefully I help one or two of y'all make your decision of what you want to do. So let's roll some music and look at that beautiful bee footage. So what do you guys think? There's so many options. It's amazing. We were just so impressed by all the different things that Hiker does. So let's hear one last word from Bob and the crew.
Okay, Matt and Wendy, we want to thank you today for taking the time to come down and see our new Hiker manufacturing location. Look at the trailers and some of the things we've done. We also want to emphasize that our continued efforts are based on making the Hiker experience the same for everybody across the country, someday across the world, so that no matter who they talk to at what location, they have the same great experience, the products are the same, and we do appreciate everyone's patience as we work through the supply chain and getting caught up on deliveries. And again, thank you. And for the Columbus, Indiana location, Robbie, Jordan or myself, any of us, or Casey, are happy to take your calls. So we appreciate it and look forward to seeing a lot of new customers in the near future. And also visiting at the upcoming campout event that you have in September. So hope to see everybody there. Thank you.
Good.
We overkill for what we need, but it's nice.
No, it's not. There's no such thing as overkill.
They're a tough.
You heard it here first. Hiker Trailer is going to be one of our official sponsors at our September camping event. If you're not familiar with our event, we're going to put it down in the description. Hiker Trailer Gathering coming up in September. I hope you guys enjoyed our two-part series on Hiker Trailer Indiana. If you missed the first part, we'll post it down in the description area. Please smash that like button, and if you're feeling really generous, hit that subscribe. We'd love to get a little comment discussion going, so if you guys have any questions, put it down below as always, and make sure the most important thing you do is get out and do some camping. We'll see you next time, guys.